right, this is the 5th episode of Transformers ToyCast. This is a spur-of-the-moment thing. I am TFG1 Mike, joined by Optimus Scourge, and BigBadBoombox is new to the show. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
How are you, Mike?
Yeah.
Fancy a beer?
Yeah, we're going to be doing another ToyCast. This will be our 3rd one in about a month and a half, I think, considering the show is only supposed to be once a month. But that's alright. Who cares? I had nothing else to do at this time anyway. I still have to record ToonCast later on, but, so yeah. I'm trying to think. What were the sponsor things I was going to throw out? Oh yeah. Everybody should go over to www.geekcastradio.com. You can catch all of our other shows, All Things Transformers, TFG1 Podcast, ToonCast, and this podcast, Transformers ToyCast, are I think the 4 current shows. Also, we do Geekcast Radio Podcast, which is just a general geek thing. I think we've had episodes covering G.I. Joe Resolute, Star Trek film, the new one. What was episode 3? I don't even remember now. Oh crap. Oh well. So yeah, we're going to talk about some Transformers toys today, and I think I will go first this time around. I am choosing G1 Movie Accurate eHobby Galvatron. I originally had the original toy of this in the color scheme. I was like, wait, that's not Galvatron. Because the original color scheme is gray instead of the purple. And he has the this toy does have electronics, but I've never put in batteries for it, and I probably won't. I'm surprised it actually didn't come with batteries in it.
You don't want that though. It can they can corrode
Oh.
it. I always take the batteries out.
Oh no, I know that. I wasn't planning on doing it, but I mean, I got when I was at Target a few months ago, I got Leader Class Animated Magnus, and his battery was in him.
Those are different kind of batteries. Those are like the hearing aid batteries.
Okay.
They're not the alkaline batteries that can leak.
Oh, okay. All right. And I think for me, the coolest thing about this toy is the golden matrix necklace that comes with it.
Yes. I knew you were going to say it. I wanted to mention it myself, but I knew it was your pick. But yeah, that was a huge selling point. The fact that he was, show accurate. Obviously, I wanted it and then when I found out he came with a matrix to wear around his neck, I was like, give it to me now.
I usually only have him in robot mode. He is fairly simple for me to transform back into cannon mode. I've never actually used the laser gun. Obviously, as I said before, I'm not going to put a battery in him, but
You should, just to hear it, man. It's really cool.
Maybe. I don't.
It's kind of like Shockwave. It's got some laser sounds and stuff.
Yeah. But I think it's really funny, and I would just like to let Shane in on this. We sometimes are an explicit podcast, but we are mostly a clean podcast. But it's funny where they put the button for the sounds, especially when he's in robot mode, because it's on.
Yeah.
It's on the freaking crotch. I'm like, wait, what? You have to press his crotch to make him talk?
So is Megatron.
You gotta make it worth it.
So is Megatron's.
Which Megatron?
G1 Megatron's got a you-know-what.
The original?
Yeah.
Gun?
Mm-hmm.
It's right in between his legs, the trigger.
Oh, okay, the trigger. I thought you meant he had electronics. I was like, wait a second. No, he didn't have electronics, did he?
No, the trigger's in the same place.
Yeah.
He's got a trigger crotch.
God.
And that trigger crotch is going to be the new slot flap.
Oh, God.
That puts a whole new spin on the word ACD.
Anyway, moving on.
I can't believe his gun is the orange part for the gun is translucent. That is awesome. I didn't realize that was like that when I was younger. Because a friend of mine had when I was really young when this toy first came out. A friend of mine had the original version that I don't like, the original color version, and I thought it was really, really cool that the gun is pretty much translucent, the orange part on there.
Well, the reason for that is so that the lights work.
Oh yeah,
and you can see them.
True. I think it's really weird on his hands how they rotate up and down. It's kind of weird. And I don't like his tank treads. On mine, the left arm on the tank tread in robot mode, it will not stay in the little plug where it's supposed to.
Yeah, it seems every picture I've seen seems to have the same problem. People are just taking like photo spreads.
Yeah. I mainly keep him in robot mode because I should have brought him out here for a compare, but I didn't. I do have Universe Cyclonus, and when I have Galvatron standing on my shelf, I can actually put Universe Cyclonus in front of him, and Universe Cyclonus' wing, his right wing, touches right underneath the right-hand tread. So you can really tell how much of a size difference is between the two of them.
Oh, yeah, he's huge.
Yeah.
He's huge.
I mean, I know we have the size classes now, Deluxe, Voyager, and then Leader and all that stuff, but I wonder what size classes they were going for back in...
He's about the size of Powermaster Prime.
Is he really?
Galvatron?
Yeah.
And, well, combined mode, Prime's obviously taller, but not by much. I mean, I'd say a head and a half taller. Galvatron is very big.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, you put him next to G1 Megatron as far as supposed to be a leader scale. I mean, he's twice his size.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't have too much else to say about him. I'm glad I picked him up. I'm glad I picked him up fairly cheap, too. I got him off of eBay for like $85.
Nice.
That's about the cost they were when they came out.
Well, it was kind of a stupid move for me because when I got the original one, mint in box, I paid $300 and something for the original color version. Yeah, so that was a big loss.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I'll say this, the way Transformers are going now, I don't know if you read the news post today, but Transformers is already at its, let's see, the first 10 weeks of the first movie has made as much as it is now for the new one. It's going to be huge. And that's really good for collectors. So I would advise you, if you're buying G1 toys, just hold off if it's an expensive item because chances are they're going to reissue more stuff. We got Omega Supreme, we got Metroplex, we could get Trypticon, Scorponok, so don't go spending $300, $400, $500 because I think Encore is going to keep pumping out those ones that they know people want. I mean, think about it from Hasbro to Karatomi's standpoint. You know, here's these people on eBay getting $300, $400 for a box toy when they can't get any part of that, and they can just reissue it. And then there goes the secondary market, unless you're pure vintage, which I don't believe in, because the thing about reissues is they're cast from the same mold, and that's the reason why they didn't do Wheeljack, Mirage, and Sunstreaker as the cars because the molds were broken.
Okay, besides the fact of broken molds, I don't understand why Hasbro can't just I mean, yeah, it is. It would be a reissue, but I don't understand why they just couldn't re-release their own original line toys.
They broke the mold, and they will not reverse engineer like the KOs will, because it, first of all, is not going to be the same toy reverse engineered. A reissue is an exact replica from the same mold, and Hasbro will not spend the money to design backwards. The KO makers will, but it is extremely expensive to reverse engineer.
I mean, if you're a fan of, well, you know, obviously we are Transformers fans, but I mean, anybody in general who collects toys, if you like the original 1986 movie of Transformers, you're going to want to pick this up, regardless.
Yeah, and the good thing about the eHobby Galvatron is he's not in super high demand. They made plenty of them, you know.
Yep.
So I mean, I even waited on him, and I had no problem getting him for the, you know, eHobby usually is double the price of a regular reissue. So I had no problem getting him. I mean, and you can still get him for around $80. I mean, I think he was $75-$80 from eHobby when he came out. So it's definitely a good pickup. I agree.
Yeah. The only thing that really bugs me about him is if you have the matrix around his neck, it hides the Decepticon logo, the Decepticon logo sticker. I think it's a sticker.
That's a small price to pay to have the Matrix, though.
That's true.
You know he's a Decepticon.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I mean,
if it could just extend the neck chain a little bit longer, so it's like at his chest level.
Well, it is at his chest level.
I meant his torso.
Oh yeah.
Like in the middle of his stomach.
Oh,
but
so you're saying you? I was going to say, so you're saying you wanted to cover the crotch button?
Cybertronian jockstrap. That'd be great.
But yeah, it amazes me on some of these old toys where they find to put the rub sign, because his rub sign is on his little in robot mode. It's on his little piece that holds his headpiece down, like the cannon part, to make sure his head's up. It's on that little clip that you can pull out.
Is it the same as the G1? Because the reissues aren't always having the rub sign in the same place.
I think it is.
Is it? I'm not sure. I have them both, but I don't have them out here to compare. So either way, yeah, I know what
actually
you mean.
Works. That's weird. I haven't touched a Transformers rub sign in forever.
Oh yeah, it's really funny actually. I just picked up just a couple of G1 mini bots, and I was just playing with them the other day, and the rub signs to this day still work, and I'm like, that's engineering. Now, if I could only kept them on there when I was a kid.
and Repro Labels does make reproduction rub signs that work.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Yep, they're awesome.
Yeah, I was actually looking at those.
If you got a rub sign, you know how the top layer of film comes off, and then that's like the heat-sensitive part. And then it just stays Decepticon or Autobot once that's off. Yeah, you can replace them with Repro Labels. They sell you like 10 of them for like a couple bucks. I mean, it's a great deal. And if you want to put them on newer toys, like the first wave of the original classics had them, and then when they not re-released, but when they went back to making them after the first movie, you know, with Universe 2.0 or Classics 2, whatever you want to call them, there's no rub signs now.
Oh yeah, I missed that a lot.
Yeah, so if you want the rub signs, ReproLabels.com has them, and they are actually better than the originals because they're of better quality, better materials, you know, than they were.
Cool.
You know, I always thought it was interesting how, you know, not only did you have to rub it, but you could just hold your thumb on it for a second, and it just absorbs your 98.6 degree body temperature, and you lift it off, and you see the sign. Yep. So that you can rub it to get the friction going and instantly see it or not. So, yeah, definitely cool. But, yeah, Repro Labels, I highly recommend them. Amazing, guys. Their sticker sets are better than the original G1s. I mean, it's better quality paper, so I highly recommend them. I've restored a lot of robots with their sticker sets.
Now, when they do sticker sets, are they the same as the original toys as far as...
They're identical, and they're pre-cut.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, don't they do a lot of like they try to find people who either just get MISB stuff and can either send a straight scan in or the actual material?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're literally going off the source. They're not kind of just hacking it.
No, they always go off the source. The only thing that's not would be the upgrade kits. Those are kind of hand designed.
Oh, cool. All right, who wants to go next?
Why don't you go ahead, Big Bad Boombox?
Alrighty. All right. So what I chose today was it might be a little bit not quite as old as Galvatron, but I picked the Titanium WarWithin Grimlock. Probably one of my favorite titaniums that I've had the pleasure of owning. In fact, he's the only titanium I have left that's sitting on my desk. You know, just all around, I had a chance recently to actually read the entire War Within series. Well, at least the first 3. I don't know if there's anything after that, but the attention to detail on this figure is just immaculate. There's only maybe 1 or 2 things I think that would have kept it from being 100% comic accurate, and I don't even think from an engineering standpoint it was possible. Grimlock's got the fold-out tank treads on the bottom of his elbows to kind of give his arms a little bit of articulation. And, you know, in the comic, the tank treads actually extended all the way out to his wrists. But, you know, they did that to sacrifice or actually be able to put the wheel in so it was a functional character. Overall, I mean, I like it. It's it's simple transformation. I really, if somebody would come over to my house and who'd never played with a Transformer before, this would probably be the first thing I'd hand them, because you have 3 or 4 movements and you pretty much got them in a alt mode. Great articulation on the figure in terms of from the waist down, I like to think. The feet, multiple points of articulation, so you can pretty much stand them up in a lot of different types of just action poses. Which, like, I used to have the titanium Soundwave, and my worst, I was one of the people who was affected by the baby legs, and that wasn't fun. But no, with this one, my only I'd have to say my only serious beef with the figure is just a lack of arm articulation, and I've been staring at this figure for like 3 or 4 months, and the thing I think I can point out the most is they probably could have put a hinge in, but I think it would have been a little too much for it to work in both robot and alt mode for posability. Other than that, 360-degree rotation of the head, 360-degree of the waist, the 2 different pivot points on the legs that are both rotating. All around, just for a titanium figure, and I think you guys correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think that Grimlock was one of the last titanium shipped with the plastic base.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, he was, because he was a Toys R Us exclusive, and the new Target exclusives do not have the bases.
Yeah, it's a shame.
And they cost $21.
I think I picked him up for about $15.
Yeah, he was 15.
Yeah, I just don't understand. They're great. The new titaniums are great looking figures, but do you really? I mean, okay, I'm going to pay more for less.
Yep.
I think I don't know if I have a titanium or not. I think I have a titanium Galvatron somewhere.
No, there wasn't a Galvatron.
There wasn't. Then I don't know what the heck I have, because it says on there titanium Galvatron, and it came with a plastic Decepticon logo stand.
Oh, you're talking about you're talking about the Legend size.
Yeah,
Galvatron.
The mini ones.
Oh, those are minis.
Okay,
yeah.
well,
we're talking about 6 inch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, all around, if going titanium wise, like, I think if I was going to have to grade this figure on like a scale of 10, I'd need a secondary category specifically for titaniums, because I think, in terms of titaniums, I'd give them a 9 just for the amount of engineering that went in, and the actual, the whole WarWithin series in general has that extra attention to detail to make the things, as accurate as humanly possible. But yeah, and overall, I'd probably give this figure just some general, playability, fun, durability, because it's more durable than anything I have right now. I'd probably give him maybe a 6.5. Solid on a 1 in 10.
That's cool.
I was going to also add about War Within. Don Figueroa was the one who drew all the War Within, and there were 2 more series of there was let's see, 5, 6, 7, and then I think 8, 9 or something, or not. The last one got canceled because they went under because of Pat Lee not paying his artist. But what's very cool about Titanium Grimlock is that Don Figueroa, the artist who drew them, designed the schematics to make that toy, as well as Prime, and those are the only 2 he's done. So if I ever get to meet Don again, I have Grimlock and Prime for him to sign.
Cool.
And it actually, I believe, on the original Prime, and probably on the other one, because it's the same mold, his name is on it somewhere, like under the foot or something. You'll see Don. I don't know if he did it to Grimlock. I never checked, but
I'm looking right now.
It's like a little imprint. You'll see Don. I think he kind of snuck that in. I don't know. I don't know if it's on Grimlock. I have never heard of it being on Grimlock, but
oh man, now I'm gonna be up all night looking every crevice and crease for DON.
You're gonna make him take his toy apart, aren't you?
Oh no, it'd be noticeable. It'd be like either on his back or on his foot, somewhere unnoticeable in alt mode. But it'd be like hiding.
Oh.
I don't think it's on it because I never heard anyone mention it, and I heard everybody in the world mention that it's on Prime.
Well, now I'm going to have to go and get Prime after we're done here.
Yep.
And I think we're going to transition into Optimus Scourge's pick with Grimlock.
Crunchy!
And what's your pick, sir?
My pick today is going to be a G1 Powermaster Optimus Prime. Yes, he is kind of a brick, but he was the first powered-up Prime. He was the first Prime we got with a combination, and the playability of this figure is just amazing. Right off the bat, let me tell you about the Powermaster. The little engine in his chest called Reissue that also comes out to transform into a little mini robot, like a mini-con size. That was the key to his transformation. You could not pull his legs down without that engine in his chest. You couldn't transform him, and that's why so many of those got broken. Mine's broken. I do have the reissue that came with the Ginrai armor, but the original, a lot of them have the broken leg syndrome because kids couldn't figure it out and they just pushed and snapped. So, but it's a cool little feature, you know. You put Reissue in there, and that's the key to unlock his transformation. You know, so if you were not in the know and you were over your friend's house, and Reissue wasn't in them, and the kid hands it to you, you go to transform. I can't do this. What's wrong with it? And then the other kid puts Reissue in and says, "Watch this," and transforms them. So it was kind of a neat little thing between kids like that, and it's kind of a cool little gimmick. And it was one of the first gimmicks, you know, after Target Masters and Headmasters, of course. And then they went to the Power Masters, which unlocked transformation for every single toy. If you did not engage the Power Master, you could not fully transform the toy. Cool. Another thing I liked about him is he came with an arsenal of weapons.
Yes, he did.
I mean, G1 Prime had his iconic blaster, and that's great. But, I mean, this guy came with two of the big blasters, and they're like 4 inches long. And then he has twin cannon laser guns mounted on his shoulders. And not only does he have all those guns, but they don't just get thrown in the trailer to store. They store and they mount. They don't store. They mount to the cab. The two long black guns mount to the top of the trailer. And then the arms flipped up in the front of the trailer, you can mount the two twin cannons on the side. So now you have a powered-up convoy mode. So the regular robot mode of Powermaster Prime is kind of cheesy, and you know, it doesn't really have any articulation, and his feet are like literally locked together. So he can't pose, he can't do much of anything but move his arms up and down and left and right. Now, when you basically transform him, you stick Reissue in his engine part to unlock his legs, and you basically just take the cab and fold the extended part of the legs up behind him, and then the trailer for him opens up. You flip the side panels out down to the bottom. You lift up the top. You tuck in the what do you call it? The little piece that attaches it to the cab, and then there's a slot on the underside, a big square that you just put the folded up Prime into, and then you add on the bigger head. I know a lot of people don't like the bigger head or whatever, but it was the first Prime to ever kind of have a gimmick like that, and I got that for Christmas as a kid. And at first I'm like, this isn't Prime, you know. Even back then I was kind of a fanboy, like, this isn't Prime. What is this crap? But it grew on me real fast, and the base mode of him is just great. I mean, it's got nothing on G1 Prime. I mean, or the other way around, I should say. G1 Prime opened up and had his little battle station, but this guy, you know, he has ramps at both sides and ramp in the front. Prime can stand on it behind a cannon. I mean, it's just a lot of playability with that figure. It's just a great figure. I love him.
Oh, he is the battle station.
Actually, it's funny, you know, I knew that Metroplex and Trypticon were out back then, but my mom was never one to pay more than $20 on a Transformer.
Right.
So,
same here.
So if you had Powermaster Prime, he was your Metroplex. He was your Trypticon. He was...
Exactly. He was your
Exactly,
Autobot base.
because that, I mean, he has maybe 6 ramps total throughout the entire thing?
He has ramps. He has ramps that fold out of ramps that
I
fold
know.
out of highway passages and
Oh, I know it.
overpasses and ladders and bridges and everything.
Ladders and bridges and highways, oh my.
Oh man, intersection crime.
Wait, did he?
No,
Wait.
really though, honestly, his base mode is incredible.
Yeah.
I love it. To this day, I think it's one of the greatest. For a trailer to turn into that is just amazing. I mean, I know with Fans Project's trailer, it turns into a trailer in armor, and that's cool and all. But for me, having a trailer that turns into an awesome base that you can put all your other guys on, have mini bots on them and whatever else. He was just so cool. And I had a lot of mini bots because they were cheap.
Yeah.
And so when we go to the store, I wasn't getting a car or a deluxe or whatever they were called back then. I was going to get a mini bot or a GI Joe or whatever it was. So it had just a lot of playability. I haven't done it, but I just had the thought of the world's smallest displayed on him. That would look really cool to kind of fill up his base with world's smallest. You know what I mean? Because it's almost perfect scale.
Yeah.
Looking at it, yeah.
You
know
should
what
do
I mean?
a video review
Yeah,
on
exactly.
him, Gary.
Yeah, I could do that. I'm kind of taking a break from reviews with my situation in real life right now, but rather
Well,
not
yeah,
get into
no, I
that.
know, but I mean, eventually you should do a
I plan on it. I do. I plan on it because, like I said, he's the only surviving member of my childhood collection. So he's a little bit yellowed and stuff, but he's complete, and I never broke him.
yeah,
Ever consider peroxiding him?
to get rid of
Yes.
the yeah.
Ah,
Yes, I have heard of that, and I have considered it, and I'm kind of in between it. What I wanted, he's not that yellow. He's just slightly tinted. Because I had him, near a window. We didn't know anything about yellowing back then. We didn't know to keep the boxes or anything. We just ripped them open and started playing with toys like you're supposed to. Nowadays everybody X-Acto knives the tape, so it's to put it back in the box and it still looks new. I do it. I mean, and we all do it. So
guilty. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, for me, Powermaster Prime. I mean, I got him for Christmas. I saw the box and I saw Prime, and I was very let down. But of course, I went and opened it and played with it, and I was kind of ho hum. I'm like, this. I was sad G1 Prime was gone, really, and it was cool to have another Prime. But when I was a kid, and we're talking 10, 11 years old here, so I get around to playing with it, and then I see the base mode, and oh my god, I was in love. And then when I found out saw how he looked in his combined mode. It was great. And the one cool thing, too, I forgot to mention about the parts storage, he has his back door opens and folds down like a ramp, and you can put the big Powermaster, armor head, combined mode head in the back. And that's about all that'll fit, but it will stow in there so you don't have any extra parts laying around. Which was a problem with G1 Prime. He had so many parts that even in the trailer, you open the trailer and, missiles are flying out everywhere. And, you got the hose, the nozzle, his gun, the hands.
Oh, the hands. Oh.
You know what would have made Powermaster Prime even more awesome is if they found a way to make the trailer big enough to fit the head and roller. If they put a roller in there with him, that would have been cool.
Well, see, the thing, they could have done that, but then you would have lost your battle station.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because where in the middle section is that platform where the guns are
right.
for the regular sized Prime to stand behind and kind of man his battle stations, to quote Coheed and Cambridge.
And one thing we should mention about the transformation for the battle station. Optimus Prime does the splits, because you had to split his legs apart and fold them up. Am I right? Yeah.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah, you had to split his legs apart and then fold them up. So basically the big Prime is like sitting down, full split.
Yeah, that's another thing. He has, his arms just go up and down 360. His head does not move much at all, if any, because it's just mounted.
I don't think mine ever did.
And yeah, it doesn't move. his legs are complete bricks, but you can basically put them apart at like a 30-degree angle and make him do a split. But he can't move his arms like sideways or anything, just straight up and down like he's, chopping steaks and, But for me, back then, I mean, obviously by today's standards, he's a total brick, but at the time, he was a marvel of engineering because of the fact that base and everything could store in him, and all the guns went in both modes, you know?
Oh yeah, when you look at something like this, and it's you gotta love the fact of the engineering that went into this, because it brought that many more people to the fan base, which vis-a-vis concordantly, if I'm going to quote the Matrix here, it's what gives us what we have today. I mean, you look at a lot of other toys that are out there, and like Power Rangers and some of the other transforming toys, they just really haven't had the love and the care put into them that the Transformers has.
Oh no. Well, Power Rangers has only been around since the American version has only been around since 1993. So, I mean, compare 1993 to 25 years, 1984, I think the only Power Rangers, big toy like Zord or Megazord or whatever I ever had was I had the Falcon Zord from the movie when the Power Rangers movie came out.
Yeah, only thing I think I have left lying around here is I have a Dragon Zord down in the basement. It's collecting dust right now. I loved it. I mean, hell, I was the first guy it was like, oh, Green Ranger, this guy is the uber badass. I have to have this now.
So, are you there, Gary? Or did you? Oh, okay. I thought somebody's phone was ringing. So, do you guys have any other thoughts on the toys we've talked about today, or do you want to discuss anything else?
Well, one thing I'd like to add is if you're listening to this and you're interested in Powermaster Prime, the reissue comes with the Jinrai armor that was only available in Japan, and that's an additional power-up. He gets a chest plate, he gets leg extensions, arm extensions, and an extra missile over his shoulder. Really, really cool. However, it's a little bit on the expensive side because most of the ones you find are going to be still in the box. So he is desirable on that one. And with that added armor, it's cool, but for me, that was never over here. That was a Japan thing. The fact that they added it in for our reissue was great. But you got to remember, they reissued that in Japan before they did here, so it's the same toy. And they already they used the same insert, and they just used an American box.
See, if I was going to get one, I would want the U.S. version, but that's just me.
Yep. I have both, but my one with the extra armor, and the armor combines into a small little like U-Haul trailer. I don't know how else to describe it because it's got a little pivoting hook that hooks on the back of Powermaster Prime.
You can now rent out Optimus Prime to move your house.
We charge per the hour.
Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Upper Mustang, rush right on down.
But yeah, I keep that one in the box. Just it's a great looking display window box. The reason why we got him that way because his Japan, produced a lot of overstock on that. So if Hasbro was going to reissue it, they're going to reissue whatever Takara did, or now Takara Tomy, because they're not going to make separate packaging. They're not going to make separate inserts. They're going to use whatever they used. So, but yeah, if you're on the secondary market, you can pick up a Powermaster Prime for like sometimes $25-$30 complete. He's really easy to get. There was a lot of them. A lot of people were into Transformers in 1987 when he came out. The phenomenon had spread worldwide. He was released in a lot of countries in various bilingual packaging and such, and it's all the same toy and all. But yeah, the original is really easy to come by, and he's very, very solid. The one weak point of him is the trailer peg. The little blue tab that flips around and plugs into the trailer hitch. If you pull on that to just try and pull Prime off, that was the first thing that would ever break on him. Other than that, I mean, if that was flipped back to behind him and he's in robot mode, he is very, very hefty and solid, beefy toy. I mean, it's just, I mean, even though he's a brick, whatever, back then they were all bricks. So, he just, at the time he came out in 1987, he was just a marvel of engineering of where Transformers came from the 84 line to, moving 3 years now. Look what we got now. We got Prime. He has his trailer, but not now he has a super base, and he also has a powered mode, which has continued. Obviously, we saw his combined modes with Armada, Energon, and Cybertron, and now with the new movie. And if you want to count Fans Project, which technically isn't a Transformer because it's made by a different company, you also have a trailer for your Prime that adds on armor.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different for me, so technically I don't really count that.
Well, you said earlier that Transformers was still in the height in 1987 as far as popularity. Yeah, until late 1987 when the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out.
Oh yes, I went right to Turtles. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
I don't.
Turtle blimp life.
I want those reissues. I just don't have the funds at the time.
You mean the 25th anniversary ones?
No, well they had two. They had the actual reissues of the originals, and then they had the 25th anniversary ones.
That was the one. The reissues are the ones with the Eastman and Laird original background artwork, correct?
I'm not sure, but they made some that looked more like cartoon accurate, and then they made some that were just like Hasbro's ones. They're straight up exact reproductions from the same mold.
I picked up a Raphael for my brother last year. It's kind of a memento. I think I picked it up at, I want to say it was Walmart where I saw them. Or either that or Newbury Comics.
They're very hard to find now. They flew off the shelves.
Oh, absolutely! It was only like 3 when I was there. It was ridiculous.
Those things flew off the
shelves.
I
saw the 25th anniversary ones at Target because they came with a DVD. The 25th anniversary.
Those are pretty cool. Those were pretty cool, and I gotta say, on those, they look a lot more realistic.
Well, they look just like the original. They are the original molds of the original toys for those, though. Those are those are reissued original toys from the 1987 line.
Okay, they put out 2 different Turtles. They put out reissues and classics.
I'm talking about the 25th anniversary ones. The 25th anniversary ones look just like the original toys when they came out. I mean, it's the original weapons. They look just like the original line.
Are you talking about the reissue? Is it 25th? I don't know, because 25th doesn't mean anything to me. Is it a reissue or is it a different one?
It's a 25th anniversary commemorative, I believe. But
you're referring to the bonus DVD ones, correct? All right, yeah. That was it was the original artwork for the logo, and then it had different. Obviously, there was different blister art saying bonus DVD.
Well, no, I'm talking about the toys themselves that came in the package.
Those were directly those.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The actual toy. Yeah. So, all right. Well, yeah. I don't think we're gonna start a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy cast, but
well, I just wanted to get it clear because they did make newer ones recently that looked very similar, but they were clearly upgrades to be like classics, like G.I. Joe. And like Transformers did, but yeah, I went back to go get some of those reissued 25th anniversary or whatever they're called, and they are just gone. I haven't seen them anywhere. Nobody restocked them either, which is pretty sad.
Well, when I went to Target here in Louisville, I had seen it was actually the day I got Universe Cyclonus. I saw all 4 Turtles and Shredder, but it said collect all 5 DVDs because each of the DVDs has the first original 5 episodes of the cartoon. But there was only the 4 Turtles and Shredder didn't come with a DVD, so I'm assuming the 5th one that has the 5th DVD is Splinter. And I didn't see Splinter, so.
I did.
Anyway, we're getting way off topic. Even though they're still toys, it's not the actual...
Okay, to put it back on a little bit topic, the person who created Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was David Wise, who wrote Rebirth and many other G1 episodes. So there's your Transformer tie-in.
You mean cartoon tie-in, because technically Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman created them in comics.
Oh, you don't want to see those original comics either. They were graphic for the
That's why I didn't mention them.
All right, well, I think that's going to be all for this episode of ToyCast. I have been TFG1 Mike with
Optimus Scourge.
And BigBadBoombox.
Wow, Dr. Claw made an appearance.
You can follow me on Twitter if you'd like, Optimus_Scourge at twitter.com.
And do you have a Twitter, BigBadBoombox?
I have one, but I'm going to be starting one shortly, specifically for my Transformers-related business. So I will have you guys a official Twitter by the next time we talk.
Cool. And mine is actually, because I pretty much am the co-founder of the GeekCast Radio Network, we have several Twitters. My personal Twitter is TFG1 Podcast, and then the show actually has a Twitter that is TF ToyCast. And the actual network Twitter is GeekCast Radio. So I think we're going to end this with the famous last words of Optimus Prime.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
And thank you for listening.
In a cold, faraway world, a battle is raging between evil and good. From the stars that came here to earth, caught in their struggle through the whole universe, robotic warriors give it their all, fight in disguise to the victors their soul. Transformers, defenders of truth, robots who fight in disguise. Transformers, when the battle is through, only the strong will survive. Till all are one. Unknown soldiers fighting the war, use the power and wisdom from those long before, leads them on to victory. Life's their darkest hour.